The transparency of love in the moments of time and in the beauty of an happy environment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another segment. In today's episode, let's dive into an African lady who got married to a Chinese husband based in China. Certain factors needs to be considered when choosing a family to marry into, and I think it's not only the men that will be looking into that. The women also should involve themselves in one way or the other to ensure that the family which they're marrying into are actually a good family, a tolerant family, and also a God-fearing family. Today's package we have here a Chinese grandmama and a Chinese grandpapa, and also a African lady doing some special choice. Well, you can see that every day today of this couple's life of the life has been, from one dimension to another. They appreciate life and they know what it means to stay in peace, and also to know that thing which each and every one of them ought to do accordingly, without dragging or without the shouting of the others, directing them or telling them exactly what to do. They know what to do. They know that in each every day is a new season, and it's a year or a day to curse a new invention or to curse a new improvement in their life. So as you see into this package, they actually have there for a special thing which needs to be accomplished accordingly. Just as I said earlier, before you embark onto marriage or before you choose a partner for lifelong, should I say stage, you should ensure that the person to which you are agreeing years ago, or the person you are certain to be your soulmate, should be and has a good family background, and also know what it means, to take care of women. Most times in the society has caused a lot of havoc in so many marriage, and has made so many to understand the fact that marriage itself is something else that should be a burden on the woman's shoulder. And several cases the men they've lived all the responsibility for women, and so many women over the years are suffering from one should I say problem to another, and that has caused a lot of problem in the society. When you say society that wants to grow, you say society that wants to improve, a society that will cause development, the first thing you should think should be the women. Yes, without the women there will be no generation, and also without the women there will be no should I say there will be no fourth and first and also third generation. That is why women are so important and should be cursed into development, and they should also improve the well-being of the women. How could this be done? Yes, that is where we have to create awareness. For you hearing my voice, and you're a woman, you know that you're a special being, and I want every woman under the sound of my voice not to look yourself down. Okay, you're a special being, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're beautiful. As you can see, our African lady accepting the fact that marriage, yes, needs to be done, but actually she did not put down her talent, she did not put down her vision, and she did not even put down her foresight. And that is one of the most important thing when we talk about women development. As a woman, don't think that all you have to do is just to cook, clean the house, and also start giving birth to thousands of persons. No, just try to focus and try to believe in yourself that there is drastic development, and actually if you think so, there will actually be a changes in the society, and there will be also a drastic development in the society. So it's just based on vision and also based on one's mentality, and if that should be put into consideration, I think the society will be a better place for everyone to dwell in. Respect itself is one of those things that is lacking in most marriages, and some things that if you're married to a certain families, that the mother of should I say your husband mother or your husband's sister should count for respect, and the woman should not also be given respect. Please this is actually a two should I say two parties work which needs to be done. If one person is receiving respect and the other person is actually not receiving respect, that would be actually lacking somewhere, and that is going to be problem which will affect the both parties. So respect needs to be considered in marriage. When the both parties respect themselves and each of them knows their various responsibilities, I think then that everything about marriage will actually be solved and everything about marriage will go on smoothly. But you find out that in so many society the term respect is actually lagging behind, and so many persons are just wanting it to be on one side supporting the other side and leaving the other side lagging behind, and that causes a lot of problem in the society. And so many persons actually are suffering from that, should I say, trauma. I call it a trauma on its own. So I think it should be considered. As you can see here, a Chinese grandma actually respect the African lady. She respect her boundaries. She respect the fact that she came all the way to African to be with them, and she also respect her culture and tradition, and she also retaliate and do the same, and that helped the both of them to live peacefully and caring for each other accordingly. And you can see there's more understanding and there's less stress, and there is more development which is encompassing rather. We have here some few questions which are tripping in, and so many persons wants to know why is our Chinese grandmama did not do her hair. And someone say, Angelina, please try and do grandmom, mother-in-law's hair. That is a question that tripping. I think a comment, or should I say a contribution, notwithstanding. I think she will do that. And sometimes when there's work here, work there, you come to the fact, or you came to realize that before it's the day he runs out, and what's important you want to do, you just have to skip it for another day. Well, I think that will be take notes. You can see that they are actually trying to prepare some special delicacy. I tell you, actually, this grandmama have a lot of secrets which our African lady needs to learn, and she actually so smart, to have listen and also to go closer to our Chinese grandmama. And on this stage, you can see that the both of them are actually working together and in fact moving together for a greater achievement. In some parts of Africa, it is being noted that before a child or a girl child, gets married to her husband, she's supposed to be with her mother-in-law or with her mom, learning some various principles and home activities which will help her to carry out her home effectively and personally. But in some culture and tradition does not entail that, while in some other culture and tradition entails that the lady will spend some years or some months with her mother-in-law to learn some various principles which are vital to both couples. Well, I don't think that of the Chinese culture is far-fetched from other cultures in Africa. You can see that our Chinese grandmama took it to herself, to teach our African lady the various principles and what she ought to know or what she ought to do to carry out some, should I say, yes, motherly care, and how to run her home effectively. Here's, that's the different culture and tradition, and she ought to, learn the various good dishes in of the Chinese people too, in order to sustain and help her husband, to French forth. We have another comment coming in. I think it's a comment or question. And someone was asking, should I say, should the Chinese wife goes out to work while the husband sits, or should the wife sit while the husband goes out to work? Well, according to their culture and tradition, the women have to stay at home while the men go out to find things to do to bring good resources for the women to consume, and also to take care of their home, to run the affairs of their home. That is a standard, and also that is a culture and tradition. If peradventure the man doesn't have anything to do, he himself, will involve himself in farming activities or in other things that will fetch money, or should I say finance, to the family. But you see sometimes, hands are not equal, so they look forward and also in doing some positive, should I say, work, which aid them and also help to run their day-to-day lives. Well, you can see that here her Chinese grandpapa is usually at home and classified him as a good farmer. If you see in our recent video, he did harvested a lot of garlic, and too many knew the fact that garlic is being cultivated in the Chinese land, and anything that you put in the Chinese land, he's actually yield a lot and a lot of fruits. Well, that is how what to call a blessed land. A land that is blessed usually yield and come out with a lot and a lot of package. Alright, on this graph, I think this is where I'll be wrapping up today's episode. I hope you liked it onto this package. Please stay tuned and stay blessed. And always remember, loveless. Stay good for now. Bye for now.